Hi folks, I'm Matt and welcome to My Expanded Universe, a show where I go through the entire EU in chronological order as best I know how. Folks, it's time to talk about the 9th and final book of the Fate of the Jedi series. This one's called Apocalypse, written by Troy Denning. Tenel Ka and Alana survive another Sith assassination attempt just to try to kill her off. At this point, Alana's cover is blown. Everyone knows she's Tenel Ka's daughter. She is going to drop her, fake name, I think it was Alima or whatever it was, with, being an adoptive war orphan from Han and Leia, and go back to the Hapens after this, because right now her cover's been blown. There's so many assassination attempts, everyone knows at this point what's going on. This book is very interesting because we finally get the origin story of Abeloth, which I found very intriguing. Raynar Thol, Lobaka, 3PO, and a few others go to visit the Kilix from the Dark Nest trilogy. And Raynar Thol is communicating with them. And remember, the Kilix are these old ancient race. They knew the Celestials and everything. And so he's asking them, hey, what do you know about Abeloth? And they're shocked that she's out. They didn't even know she was out in the galaxy. Remember, ever since, Raynar Thol's been disconnected from them, they've gone back to living life normal. So they didn't realize what was going on outside the galaxy. And they go, oh, she's around? She shouldn't be. She should be trapped in the Maw installation. What we find out is that she is from the Clone Wars, Filoni Clone Wars episode, Mortis Trilogy. I didn't like this series in the Clone Wars. It's where Anakin and Obi-Wan go to a planet where there's this dad, and he has a son of the dark side and a daughter of the good side, and he's trying to give balance, and he's getting too old, so he wants Anakin to be the one to give balance to both of these forces. And I really thought the story was really dumb, but when reading this in the book, I said, oh, wait a minute. If he's the father, who was the mother? And so they're saying that Abeloth was the mother, and she got, she was, thrown out of that Eden or wherever it was, wherever they at. She was thrown off that planet years ago and eons ago. And so she's trying to get back and get a family of her own, where Luke can be the father, Ben the son with the good side, Vestari the daughter with the dark side, and she'll be the mother of the dark side. And she, in her own warped head, that's kind of what she's shooting for, and that's kind of what they see here. Now I remember reading this and going, or listening to it, because this is the only, I should mention this is the only book I've listened to on audio, unabridged. The reason for that is I read the novel before while I was on the beach. I brought most of the novels. I'd read the first 2. I said, you know what, I have them all, but I don't want to bring all 7. I'll just bring 6. I probably won't read all through those. I read, they were just awesome. I read all through all 6 on the beach, and I wanted to read 7. Now, it was the last day of the beach. I think we were traveling back, and so I remember I bought it on CD. I don't have it anymore. I gave it to someone, I think. But I bought it on CD back then because it was unabridged. I'd listen to it in the car or on my little Walkman, my CD Walkman back then or something. Because I was like, I had to hear what had happened. I couldn't wait one stinking day or maybe 2 days before I got home to figure out what happened. Because I think we stayed over at my grandmother's that weekend. But I had to listen to it. So I may have gotten it from the library. Maybe that's what I did. Either way, I had to get it. So this is the only audio book I ever listened to. But as I was listening to it and I heard where they were going with it, I was like, oh man. So that awful I knew exactly what they were talking about, that awful Clone Wars episode or 3-part episode. I was like, I don't want it. Ugh. I was like, okay, well, yeah, all right. It does make sense, though, because in that storyline, there was no mother. There was just a father balancing 2 children. So, yeah, what happened to the mother? The mother's Abeloth. I'll go with it. Well, Celestials knew that she was, unchecked. She's really dangerous in the galaxy. So what they did is they created the Maw cluster. We find out that they created the Maw cluster, and for the purpose of hiding her in there. Now, whatever else was in there is up to, whoever put, the Empire put an installation in there. There was Sinkhole Station in there, other little nooks and crannies in there. But they did it for her to be, imprisoned in the Maw installation. And Centerpoint Station, we realize, was created to protect them against Abeloth. If she leaves, they're going to fire and just destroy everything. So Centerpoint Station was meant to keep Abeloth in check and destroy her if need be. It's really neat when you think about it. They explained all these big things that happen in the Bantam books. They're still revealing things to us. It's like the onion just, you peel up an onion, there's just more of it there. There's more of the story. Just when you thought you knew it all, they share with you the origins of the Maw installation, the Centerpoint station. I thought that was great. Okay, a little over the top, stopping Abeloth, but it makes sense, connecting all those together. Now, I'd asked Troy Denning if that was that the whole idea, because I don't remember that Clone Wars episode airing when the first book came out, and he told me it wasn't. He said they knew they wanted a being like Abeloth, but they didn't know how to explain her, and that when they saw the TV show, he went, I think we can connect this. And I mean, and that's how these writers' minds work. They make these connections in their mind when they read something, look at something, and go, I can connect that with my story. And that's exactly what they decided to do. And that's how it was decided that the Mortis trilogy was going to be used as an origin for Abeloth. Really cool. Really cool, to be honest. So basically, that is, her in a nutshell. So Abeloth is, we know who she is now. The Jedi are fighting the Sith on Coruscant now. It's an all-out drop-down, drag-out battle where the Jedi will be victorious. The Galactic Alliance will be like, yeah, you need to go. We don't want Jedi here anymore. There's a little bit of a rift that's formed between the Jedi and the Galactic Alliance, and rightfully so after everything that's happened. Luke agrees, and they pull out. So what is the fate of Abeloth? Well, Luke goes into the realm of beyond shadows again, and this time he finds an unlikely ally within the realm. It is someone else who is in deep meditation. We're not told who it is, but by the look and sound of it, it's Darth Krayt from the Legacy series. Now, Luke doesn't know who it is. All he knows is there's this other very powerful Jedi who's in this realm too, who says, yes, Abeloth is a threat. So he teams up with Luke, and they defeat Abeloth in the Beyond Shadows realm. Okay, sounds kind of weird, but she is defeated. Now, again, it's never said it's Darth Krayt, but it is heavily implied to be him. I don't know why they didn't say his name. I guess because all that has to be secret, and Luke shouldn't know anything about the one Sith or any more that he has to. So I'm guessing that's why. But it's very obvious it's Darth Krayt, which is nice because it's our first and what I think only reference to the Legacy comic books from the novels, I should say. But that was really cool because I got excited too. I was like, dang, they are incorporating everything here at the very last bit. And a lot of people say, that's another thing, a lot of people say, well, I don't want Filoni's Clone Wars to be Legends. Okay, well then you have a really big problem with Abeloth's origin story here, folks. Filoni's Clone Wars shares both Legends and new canon now, but for people saying, it's not part of Legends, it can't be part, we cut it out of Legends, well then you've really hurt your overall story for Fate of the Jedi. Anyway, so Abeloth is defeated, but not permanently. Luke knows that, so he sends out 10 Jedi Knights across the galaxy. They're going to search for the Dagger of Mortis. It's a legendary weapon that's supposed to end Abeloth once and for all. So we have, a loose string to wrap up later on down the road in another story. Vistari leaves with Ship. She takes off with Ship. Her relationship with Ben is up in the air. Is she trying to find her own? Is she accepting that she's a Sith now? She can't be with Ben because she is different. That's what Vistari's thinking. Ben's hoping it's not. I'm hoping it's not. I'm hoping to see more of them together. And on the other end, Jag and Jaina finally get married. Everyone's super happy. They tie the knot, and I remember everyone was celebrating because I think that's when Sword of the Jedi was going to be announced, or it was announced shortly after, and everyone was mooning over those two being married now, and yay. And I remember Christy Golden did tell me this. The number one question she got for Sword of the Jedi is, are they going to have kids in your book? Are they going to have kids? She's like, whoa, they just got married. Slow down. But, Jaina was what, in her 30s? At that point, so I can understand that. Get cracking with them kids. Han Solo needs some more grandchildren, so does Leia. But that was supposedly one of her big requests, was in Sword of the Jedi, have them have their first kid. It's like, whoa, rushing it there. I didn't mind either way, but yeah, I do see the need to have a child, especially that, because if I'm wrong, I could be wrong about this, but I think they're in their 30s at this point, Jaina and Jag are, or close to it, late 20s, early 30s. So yeah, that biological clock is a ticking, boys and girls. But anyway, they get married and everyone's happy. I should also mention that Wynn Dorvin at the end of this is also the interim chief of state, most likely going to be chief of state moving forward, and I'm happy about that. I want to see more Wynn. Again, I think he's a fantastic character that was created in this series. Absolutely love. So final thoughts. What do I think about the Fate of the Jedi series? Absolutely love it. Think it's phenomenal. Personally, of course, I like New Jedi Order better, and I like Legacy of the Force better. That doesn't mean Fate of the Jedi is bad, though. I love Fate of the Jedi. I don't know where it would rank in my top 10. I think I would put it in my top 10. You know, it'd be somewhere in the top 10 there of stories that I enjoyed, because it's just a solid story overall. I really did like. I thought Christy Golden, Aaron Alston, and Troy Denning, of course, are going to do good, but Christy Golden really shined in this series. A lot of the books, as you heard me moon about, were Christy Golden's. But yeah, it is definitely worth your time, definitely something to read, and sadly, was the last multi-novel story arc we would get in the expanded universe. So, what comes next? Well, I'll see you next time and discuss it with you in another video.